So how do you feel about the Mr. Supranational finals last weekend? Well, I'm so pleased about the outcome because I was able to get 4 of the candidates correctly in the top 5. However, as much as I am feeling happy and giddy about my prediction, I am still quite sad that our candidate Johannes Riesler only settled for a top 20 finish, a placement that we have been forever getting since this pageant started in 2016. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm really grateful that our candidate placed, but I could not help but feel frustrated considering that we are forever stuck in top 20 na alam naman natin na we are a pageant powerhouse and we should have mastered the formula by this time already. Because I always think that if we can do it in female pageants like Miss Universe or here in Miss Supranational, why can't our country seem to do well in male pageants, especially in Mr. Supranational? Well, that's a topic that I would like to talk about for today's content. So, how do you think our country can improve our game in Mr. Supranational? So before I will come out with my own suggestions as to how we can improve our game or ranking on this pageant, let me share you my thoughts about Johannes Riesler's performance in Mr. Supranational last weekend. I firmly believe he made a great impression among the organizers there in Poland with his relatability, great personality, and chill and laid-back attitude. I want to highlight the latter, yung pagiging engaging niya, his engaging personality and very chill attitude, because I feel this is what the organizers fell in love with him the most. Kasi he seems to have possessed that balance of being a nice guy, of getting along with everyone, but still packs so much charisma and strong stage presence during the crucial events. He was never afraid to showcase his real self, that of a provinciano guy who loves to sing and play basketball while displaying his modeling or even dance prowess on stage. Styling-wise, he rose to the occasion too, as he was styled in different outfits with eclectic colors that made him a standout even more pre-preliminary competition. His Eran Montoya green and pink suits were a standout during the opening ceremony, while that cream, or anong kulay ba to? Pearl white color that he wore during the prelims was refreshingly different in a sea of contestants wearing black tuxedos. However, there was one glaring area where he badly needed improvement, and that's his physique. It's not as ripped nor competitive like the other contestants, like Spain, Mr. Spain, or even his Asian counterparts like Malaysia, Thailand, or Korea. Luckily, he has a very commercial face, so nadadala niya talaga tayo sa kanyang mga performance palagi on stage. So yes, it has nothing to do with a mustache that prevented him from getting in the top 10. It's really his physique and his weak communication skills. I'm so sorry, Johannes, that were the reasons behind his top 10 shoutout. His Supra Chat performance kasi talaga was not impressive, and sayang talaga kasi he seems to have take the male Supra prototype, someone who has a combination of ramp and fitness model with great personality and attitude on off stage. Johannes may have take the ramp model, height, and commercial face parts, but not the fitness model component, as his body may have been lean and toned to say the least, but not as ripped as Spain or Malaysia, Thailand, or Korea. And it is in this reason why I feel we have been forever languishing in the top 20 on this pageant since its inception in 2016. It's like nobody has truly mastered the winning formula of Mr. Supranational since its inception, despite the fact that the local franchise of this pageant has changed organizations 3 times already within the span of 7 years. Misters of Filipinas organization was the first local franchisee, with Sir Arnold Vegafria taking over in the next 4 years before Sir Jonas Gafford finally got it starting this year. Suffice to say, each candidate that we sent to this pageant since 2016 displayed a glaring deficiency that could have been improved before they flew to Poland. And to be fair I will start on the year 2018 because that was the first year I was able to cover the pageant extensively, both local and abroad. Marco Poli, our representative then, may have the look, the commercial face, athleticism because he was a football player and towering height, but he lacked personality. Denver Hernandez was very cute and short by male height pageant standards to make it far the following year. John Adahar, despite his MMA background, also did not have a competitive physique 3 years ago. Not that our male representatives wanted for this to happen, but we have to remember that most of them got appointed or crowned very late in the game. Marco was crowned a month or two before the competition. Jan Adahar was also appointed at the very last minute to compete, and he was very vocal about it in his post-pageant interview with me that had he been given more time to prepare, he could have given a better showing in the pageant. Likewise, Raed Fernandez, his successor, also had the same issue while having a dry personality for the contest as well, unfortunately. Same thing with Johannes Risler this year, who also got crowned a month and a half before his actual competition. And if we would be accustomed to this kind of last minute crowning or appointment, we could have at least sent a well prepared male contestant. However, no guy would still take it. Bakit? Kasi male pageantry here in the Philippines is not as popular as its female counterparts. And it is this disconnection that I have been thinking about for so long, trying out to come out with an answer. There are not many quality and high caliber male contestants joining local pageants. And I think it's because our country is wired more to appreciate female pageants instead. And you can quote me on that. The reason why I think male pageants are also not popular in the Philippines because I think our society presents more career opportunities for our men to excel outside pageantry apart from the negative impression of male pageantry here in the Philippines. And I wouldn't delve more into that because it's another story altogether. Hence, there are no quality or high caliber men with commercial faces and ripped bodies joining male pageants here in the Philippines. However, I am not yet giving up my hope about this case that we could turn around about the lack of enthusiasm among our men, quality men ha guys, yung mga well-educated and more accomplished men to join male pageants like Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide, the local franchise of Miss Supranational. And I will just focus solely on Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide for this case as it is the local franchise holder of Mr. Supranational, which is our topic at hand. Now, how can we feel competitive, guys, in Mr. Supranational? So here are some suggestions I am sharing for Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide to consider so we could finally have a better showing in Mr. Supranational in the years to come. Number 1. Rebrand Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide pageant as a fitness and modeling competition instead. How can we appeal to a wide demographic of young men in our country to join a competition like Mr. Supranational or Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide? I study endeavors or undertakings that appeal to young men in general. And what are those? Sports and physical activities. Kasi diba, let's face it, men have always been naturally competitive. They like physical activities. We like physical activities to showcase our physical prowess, just like how men in ancient times prepare for warfare, diba? Men like playing sports because it is the equivalent to the last man standing from ancient times. For us it's about impressing our peers while showing off our skill set while improving our game and applying those skill sets that we have learned from other people. So in this aspect that I am suggesting that Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide to tie up with local sports or fitness brands that will bring out this kind of messaging to its target market, the young alpha males in their 20s to early 30s, kasi yun yung age limit ng Mr. Supranational. The appeal of sports encompasses all kind of men. And why do I make this kind of suggestion? It's because Century Tuna Superbuds has been very successful in recruiting quality and high caliber men from all walks of life with its positive and clean imaging. And if you eat tuna here in the Philippines, ganun ang messaging nila, you will get healthy, and to be part of this brand is already a very big deal because this brand is very popular and the number one canned tuna brand in the Philippines na it was able to successfully attract competitive men and even women because of its various sports-driven activities. And just being shortlisted as a finalist in this biennial competition is already a badge of honor. And I would like Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide to emulate the same thing. Find and tie up with local fitness and lifestyle brands here like C2, Nestle, a mineral water brand or a supplement brand or yogurt brand or even our famous gym outlets like Slimmers World, Gold's Gym, Surge Fitness, Anytime Fitness to rebrand its messaging. And to be honest, guys, in the case of Century Tuna Superbuds, it has been very successful. Athletes, celebrities, soldiers, or guys with military background, professionals like doctors, lawyers, accountants from all walks of life join the beeline of this screening all the time, and that's where we discover the likes of Kirk Bondad and his brother Click Bondad, Eric Weiser, Jaime Santa Maria, Jules Aquino, and many more who could definitely cross over to pageantry with their aesthetic and great communication skills. In Indonesia, guys, our neighboring country, a similar contest geared towards health and fitness lifestyle has been very successful in attracting quality Indonesian guys, with these winners of this competition going to international competitions like Mr. Supranational. I am talking about Elmen of the Year competition. Elmen's products, which ranges from coffee to supplements to even having a makeup and skincare line, has been a very popular fitness brand in Indonesia that it started to parlay its messaging through these fitness competitions. And as a result, we are so amazed by the quality of Indonesian guys being fielded in Mr. Supranational. In fact, it almost won this pageant last year, and the guy was a product of this competition, and his name is Matthew Gilbert, and he was first runner-up to Mr. Cuba last year. And he looks so clean shaven, wala siyang beard, wala siyang facial hair, yet he still won last year. So I say, if our neighboring country like Indonesia, whose men have the same look and body build as ours, why can't we do it here in the Philippines, 'di ba? As a result, we are so amazed at the physicality, at the very least, of their homegrown guys joining Mr. Supranational. Emphasis on homegrown because most of their candidates being fielded in Mr. Supranational are homegrown, and you cannot help but be amazed by their physical transformation from their usual lanky and fat bodies to ripped and fit come competition time. If they can successfully train and hone homegrown contestants, why can't we? Kasi guys, we have been so reliant, dito kasi sa Philippines guys, we have been so reliant on recruiting guys with multicultural background from abroad when we have enough young men to be tapped and discovered here in our shores. Someone who can truly be a representation of our culture and values as a nation. And because guys, if we are to analyze to the current setup of how we do it here in the Philippines, it's always about being appointed very late. And to be fair when Arnold Vegafria was holding it, he tried to hold screenings for Mr. World and Mr. Supranational when he was still holding both franchises. But only a few quality men like Kirk Bondad and Raed Fernandez would show up. You know, yung mga gwapong matatangkad na maitsura at magaganda talaga yung mga katawan with great set of communication skills. On the other hand, Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide also held screenings, but it did not attract a lot of young men to join the competition. So kulang pa talaga sa awareness and messaging, but I am still giving them the benefit of the doubt because it is still their first year. So may birth pains pa talaga. But to be fair with Sir Jonas and Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide, it has implemented a system to have a contestant through its accredited partner system wherein its AP will invest money on fielding a candidate for the said contest. So whoever the AP fields on the contest will become an official candidate of the pageant eventually. But I feel Sir Jonas could attract more quality contestants, well-educated and even well-accomplished men if he will be able to successfully tie up his pageant with health and lifestyle brands to broaden his reach. So it will be these guys who will flock to his screenings instead, and he won't be limited who will be given to him through his AP system. 'Di ba? May point ba ako? Number two, make the prize package of the winner more appealing as well. There is no doubt that the prize package would definitely add to the appeal of the contestant. And although Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide is already giving away a staggering 250,000 for its cash prize on its national pageant, along with a managerial contract from Empire Philippines, it could still be improved, in my opinion. I hope it could tie up with either ABS-CBN or GMA to solidify or maximize the exposure or reign of their present winners. The exposure, in my opinion, has to be nationwide so that more competitive guys from different provinces will be enticed to join and see it as an opportunity at the same time or a stepping stone to whatever career they would like to pursue after the competition. And even if you lose in a pageant like Century Tuna, you will still be given a lot of products to take home courtesy of the pageant's numerous sponsors. I remember in 2018, Century Tuna Superbuds 2018, yung batch nila Maureen Montang and Jules Aquino, they had this tsaka ni Bella Ismael, yeah, Bella joined that pageant. They had this appreciation night after the finals night, and each contestant talaga got a huge loot bag, more than a loot bag, to bring home. They were able to bring home a lot of products ranging from kitchenware to raffle prizes from the very generous sponsors. And the reason why I am suggesting this is because I want the title holders of this pageant, Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide, to at the same time to feel so proud of themselves in winning this title, or like a badge of honor, as I said kanina, or a prestige thing that they won such a huge competition in the Philippines, just like how someone will win as huge as Pinoy Big Brother reality show here, or Binibining Pilipinas, or even Century Tuna. The prestige of the brand is attached forever to their name. Kasi guys, in our neighboring countries like Korea and Vietnam, male pageants are very popular there because male Koreans see pageants in their countries as a stepping stone to whatever field they would like to get into after the pageant. Well, this is also apart from the fact that Korea and Vietnam have the mandatory ROTC service implemented among its men in their country. So that's why whether they get appointed crowned or not, we will never see a Korean or Vietnamese not looking buff or at the very least not fit going to its international competition. And the result, they have been winning pageants in recent times. Just look at Vietnam. It has surged in the world of male pageantry for the past 5 years. And I think it's because of what I had just said earlier. And finally, my last suggestion, hold the pageant very early. It's one glaring area that needs to be pointed out. Since 2018, most of our contestants have been either appointed or crowned at the last minute. And if we are really serious in winning our first Mr. Supranational crown, or at least break the top 20 impasse, then we need to hold the next edition at such an early time wherein our eventual candidate can still train and prepare for a longer period of time. Riot Fernandez, Marco Poli, Jana Dahar, and now Johannes Risler were all crowned or appointed very late, so they did not have enough time to prepare for whatever deficiencies or areas of weaknesses they would like to improve on. Right now, it's Sir Jonas Gafford who is holding the franchise, and he also holds the Miss Supranational, Miss Charm, and Miss Universe local franchises. So it is really a challenge to him to find an early time to hold this pageant. If Mr. Supranational will be held in July next year again, it cannot hold its pageant around May next year, the same time Miss Universe Philippines might be happening. And I believe the perfect timing to start recruiting again and organizing for the next edition is now, with the pageant probably around February or early next year, to give the newly crowned winner a minimum of 3 months to prepare for the next edition, physically and mentally. Diba? Do I have a point? So for now, these are all my suggestions I could think of. Do you have some suggestions that you could also share here? Well, let me know on the comment section so I can also read where you guys are coming from. I just really want to improve our game in Mr. Supranational, guys, because it really feels we are so content in just making it to the first cut. Hopefully, with this content, we can help Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide Organization come out with a better showing of its representative next year.